But speaking of putting down,
Picking up what you
one person they couldn't put down apparently was our boy Reese Veerhoff, as apparently he's returning for a 5th season after a recent court ruling, man. So shout out to Reese coming back, but they said what's up?
So I found this would be an interesting situation.
How so? Talk to me.
And not just Verhoff situation. So the federal court case. So they recently allowed anybody from the class of 22 a 5th year of eligibility because of COVID.
But why?
So yeah, this is so a lot of the guys from the 22 class, there was supposed to be some extra year eligibility that they weren't granted like they were supposed to.
I guess in my mind, I'm like, I can see 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, so they granted So they granted everybody in the class of 22 a 5th year eligibility, which I thought, cool. Like, I can't remember what the argument was, but
I see it now. I see the argument now. So basically, if your graduation, if you were part of the class, if you were like a freshman in 2019, you lost all of 2020 due to COVID, and you may have even lost 2021 depending on your school size and where you went in high school. So there you go, 2022, you graduate, you lost 2 years, so that's probably why they gave you that eligibility. Unless they're talking about like college-wise, but it's saying graduated high school class of 22, so that's the way I could see it. Like if you were a freshman in 2019, your sophomore year in 2020, you lost because COVID happened. 2021, your junior year, you may or may not have gotten. And then 2022, your senior year, you're getting back. So
it said a federal judge's temporary injunction allows high school class of 2022 athletes who exhausted their 4 seasons of eligibility this spring to compete for a 5th year in 2026 and 27. So issued a class-wide preliminary injunction forcing the NCAA permitted is fighting the ruling. And so the NCAA is actually fighting the ruling. And Judge Sweeney denied the NCAA's motion to pause or stay the injunction while the appeals proceeds, meaning the rulings remains active while the legal battle continues. The injunction does not override transfer windows or roster limits from the House antitrust settlement. Athletes cannot freely enter the transfer portal outside regular windows and must return to their prior school if roster space is available. Age caps over 20 at the start also limit some claimants. So let me see. Expected to be appealed undercuts the NCAA's plans to have the so-called 5-for-5 rule going in as part of athletes.
5. Sound like a Wendy's item.
So basically they're saying the ruling is screwing with the new ruling that they did with the NCAA. It also has the potential to wreak havoc on rosters across the country. For instance, opening the possibility that an undrafted player in an NFL training camp could try to heed back to the college for a 5th year. In granting the preliminary injunction, Sweeney says players will suffer irreparable harm without it. She did not sign on to the governing body's argument that applying the new rule retroactively would create roster chaos. But NCAA President Charlie Baker said it would in responding to the rulings while referencing a bill in Congress designed to provide the NCAA antitrust protection on eligibility issues. Today's rulings and the chaos they bring to college sports are exactly why it's time to pass the bill. Fair. Colorado ruling came hours after a Tennessee court judge granted Jalen Washington, who most recently played at Vanderbilt, and 18 other basketball players a 5th season of eligibility. In June, the NCAA approved its new eligibility model for Division I athletes that will allow 5 seasons of competitive competition over a 5-year period that begins with their full-time enrollment or the academic year following their 19th birthday, whichever occurs first. Though the ruling in Tennessee appealed to those 19 basketball players, the one in Colorado cast a wider net, granting the class certification the plaintiffs sought. It means the ruling applies to all Division I players who started their college careers in 22 and 23 season, not just a select list. So basically, she just kind of went in and gave it to them, talking about it's going to screw them up. But if they played 4 seasons, they played 4 seasons.
Right.
And if they weren't eligible to be in that 5 for 5 thing after this new rule came out, then they just don't get it.
I mean, that's fair.
Because that's my whole thing. It's like, okay, like I understand everybody else got a 5th year after you were done, but you were done.
He's like, you were done. And?
That's it.
I wasn't done yet. I was not done yet.
And then, the NCAA also said they're not going to retroactively apply the age rules to the class of 22.
Apply them. Apply them now. I say apply them now. Just do it. Why not? Just do it for the plot. Just do it for the plot.
Y'all are already the villains. Just go ahead and be evil.
Just full send. Do it for the plot. Do it so I have something to talk about on my Tuesday bingo show. Actually, that's Thursdays with cribbage. Bingo and cribbage, man. You should come out and join us. I'm telling you.
Because that's all it was just an injunction that battled the 4, like basically just told anybody who already exhausted their 4 years of eligibility that here you get a 5th year because everybody else after you is getting a 5th year.
Yeah. Which is a rare win in this, or at least in the sense that the NCAA is complying and allowing it to happen.
Because let's see, at one point she said, and in this case, that the record showed and continues to show, as explained below, that the NCAA is in a bind of its own making. In other words, its own business judgment gave rise to not only to the court's finding that plaintiffs had shown that they were likely to succeed on the merits of their Sherman Act claim, but also gave rise to exactly the chaos about which the NCAA now complains. At bottom, the NCAA made its own, which comes with its own consequences. I mean, yeah, you kind of did. When you make that bed, you lie in it too, I guess.
I'll lie in it.
That's it.
So you gotta lie in it, man.
But the main thing is, thanks to that, we do get Reese Fairhoff back.
Hey, a win's a win.
Which I'm happy with.
A win's a win.
The man was a great kicker.
Man was a great kicker.
He was a solid kicker last year.
A win is a win, and I'm going to take him as I get him.
Coach Belichick said Thursday that the uncertainty as to whether there could be an additional court action has created a little bit of a temporary situation. Now, with the Tar Heels less than a month away from their opener against TCU in Dublin, he goes on to say, certainly he was a great teammate for us last year, so we welcomed him back. We'll see what happens with this process. That's all out of our control. There are multiple other legal situations going on that could directly or indirectly involve him, but as it stands right now, we'll proceed with what appears to be the current ruling. And, U.S. distribution, like I said, Charlotte Sweeney in Colorado issued the ruling for the 22-23 guys. It's a 5 for 5 rule in June that allowed Division I athletes to have 5 seasons of competition. It said that was set to take effect for athletes enrolling in college for fall 2027, but it ultimately led to lawsuits from athletes in the class of 22 sinking the 5th year, some of which are filed in the state courts in Tennessee and Georgia. It's unclear exactly how many athletes would ultimately find their way back to campuses, though reigning national champion Indiana has welcomed back defensive end Stephen Daly, an example Belichick cited Thursday. Fairhoff began a 3-year stay at Marshall in fall 2022, then transferred to UNC last year for a 4th season. Fairhoff made 19 of 23 field goals and all 20 of his extra point attempts in what's set to be his 4th and final college season. Reese went here, so that really made him eligible based on one set of rulings. There are other rulings out there that are in dispute, and so similar to the situation at Indiana yesterday that Coach Signetti talked about. Pretty much the same thing here. He's come back to the school that he was at last year, and that's where it's at. So, I mean, I look at it like this. If you get there and you find out there ain't no space on the roster, I'm sorry. But you can't really be mad at it because that's what the ruling said. It wasn't based off of you're not going to be able to transfer. Like they're not going to allow you to transfer outside of the regular transfer window. So if there's not space on the team,
yeah,
then it is what it is.
It's like, did we find a new kicker? Move. That's my job.
Get out of here.
Like, get out of here. 'Tis my